Hey Gators! Happy Down Syndrome Day! I'm so excited to get to celebrate with you today, and I can't wait to see all of your silly socks. I hope you've enjoyed the stories that I've shared with you, and I hope that you've learned some new things about people that may be different from you. I've received some fantastic questions this week, and as I promised, I wanted to have Avery on to help me answer those questions. So this is my daughter Avery. Yeah, can you say hi to everyone? Say hi! A lot of you ask questions about how many kids in the world have Down syndrome. So I did a little bit of research and found that about 1 in 700 babies are born with Down syndrome, which means that about 6,000 babies are born with Down syndrome in the world each year. And according to one source that I looked for, more than 400,000 people are currently living with Down syndrome. It's pretty cool. Mrs. Donaghy's class asked what kind of issues Down syndrome can cause. Now you might remember in the story Taking Down Syndrome to School, Nick talked about some of the differences that a child with Down syndrome may look. For example, someone with Down syndrome may have a flatter face with slanted eyes, a shorter neck, abnormally shaped ears, maybe a tongue that sticks out or a smaller head. They might have poor muscle tone and extra flexibility. Avery actually has really good flexibility too. She loves to stick her legs way out in the air. Down syndrome also causes some of the medical issues as well. And Mrs. Rissman's class asked about that. So since every person with Down syndrome is different, each person may have different medical problems. Some of the common medical problems include problems with the heart, hearing, digestion, maybe the eyes or the skeletal system too. Children with Down syndrome often have to see many extra doctors to check their health. Avery has doctors for her heart, for her thyroid, which is in her neck. She has an eye doctor, and she has doctors for her muscles, so we keep pretty busy, right? Mrs. Neely's class was wondering, how do you get the extra chromosome, and how many do we have? And why do some people get the extra chromosome and some do not? That's a tough question. The simple answer is that some people are just born with the extra chromosome, and some people aren't. It isn't anything you can control, and it isn't anything that the child did wrong. Typically, people have 46 chromosomes that hold all of the information about you. This information is what makes you so special, and it makes you unlike anyone else in the entire world. A person with Down syndrome has an extra chromosome, just one, and that's what causes some of those differences too. A lot of classes were wondering, if someone with Down syndrome has a child, will that child have Down syndrome as well? And for someone like Avery, if Avery ends up having a child someday, she actually will have a 35 to 50% chance of having someone who also has Down syndrome too. Mrs. Barrett's class asked about some people with Down syndrome and how their appearance might change as they get older. Well, remember, someone with Down syndrome is a lot like everyone else. So just like you, as you get older, your appearance is going to change a little bit, but you'll have a lot of the same characteristics that you had when you were younger. So someone with Down syndrome is the same way. Avery won't look exactly like this, even though she's just so cute. She'll still have some of the similar characteristics, though, when she gets older. Miss Clark's class had a lot of really good questions too, and I think because they know some people personally that have Down syndrome. They asked about if having Down syndrome makes it harder to talk. So one of the difficulties for people with Down syndrome is poor muscle tone. Typically when a child with Down syndrome is younger, they'll take more time to do physical things like crawling, or like Avery's like to do right now is little raspberries. But it takes her longer to crawl, or it'll probably take her longer to walk. Some kids with Down syndrome even have a hard time eating, and some have a hard time talking. So Nick talked in our story, too, about how he needs to work extra hard to do those things, and how he has special teachers to do that. Because of the low muscle tone, people with Down syndrome often do have a harder time talking, and sometimes they need to use sign language. Avery's a pretty strong girl, though, so she's able to do a lot of things so far. She is even able to talk a little bit, too. Her favorite word right now is dad, right? You like to say dad. We may need to someday teach her sign language, but like right now, she's still too young to be talking. She does do a couple things, though, that you probably do also. So one of the ways that we teach her to say hi is by waving. So Avery, can you wave? Go, hi. Or we teach her about blowing kisses too, like this. So you do a lot of those same things, and we may need to teach her more as we get older, but for now, she's just great. The last question I'm going to answer for you is a combination from Ms. Donaghy's class and Ms. Clark's class. They both asked if Down syndrome can be a good thing, and what it's like to have a daughter with Down syndrome. As I'm sure that you've seen from these videos, I'm extremely proud of my daughter. She's an amazing kid who's going to do amazing things to make a difference in this world. We do have to do a lot of extra things to take care of Avery, but all parents have to do that, and they all have to work hard to take care of their children. For me, it's been a great thing to have a daughter with Down syndrome because it's given me a chance to tell people her story and to share about what it means to be kind to all people. So thanks again for joining us with this Down syndrome celebration. We hope that you've learned some new things and you've just had a fun time as well. So Avery wants to say thanks too. Say thank you. Say thanks. Bye-bye.